And joining me in studio now is Mr. Dean James. He's the CEO of IMGG, stock symbols IMGG. Dean, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Don.
Well, yeah, Dean, we're talking to a lot of different companies all the time, but I think of all the companies that we're currently in conversations with, you've probably had the most eventful last 4 or 5, maybe 6 weeks of any. I was wondering maybe if you could bring our audience up to date on what's been going on.
Well, how much time do we have, Don? Well, you know, we received an NSE letter from the FDA, and we've hired a consultant group to readdress our application. We've got a very firm strategy now in place. It's a law firm in D.C. It's D.C. based. What we're going to do is we reviewed the application, and we're really not far off at all. We're actually right there. What we need to do is just repackage it, clean up a little bit with some of the application, mostly format issues and whatnot. And what we're going to do is we're going to present it to the FDA in a meeting and say, here's what we've got. You know, we're tired of this back and forth and question after question. If this isn't enough, let us know right now. We'll provide more. And when we file this, we want to get a yes. Yeah, they're going to review it, but we want a yes out of this. I mean, it's been long enough. I mean, you've seen me on this show.
Yeah, we've been talking about this, I'm going to say about 13 or 14 months.
Right.
And at every stage of that, I know that you felt extremely confident, having been through that 4 times previously, kind of knowing the way the whole thing works.
Right.
You must have been just absolutely knocked back on your rear end, shocked when that letter came through, and you're like, what?
Right. I mean, especially after as long as they took, I thought for sure we were at a yes. Every indication that I had from them was that this is pretty much everything that we needed. You know, we went and did a very intensive radiology review of images, comparative analysis. You know, I had met most of I took some time to make sure that we've got, you know, reformatted pieces that they had requested. I thought we were done. And lo and behold, we come back with an NSE letter, you know, which just means that we have to file again. You know, interestingly enough, at my trade show in Chicago, I met my reviewer from the FDA, and it was really insightful. I mean, you know, obviously it was a very cordial meeting, but I got some insight into where the FDA is going. And what's even interesting is most of the major vendors that visited were expressing the same frustration that I am. I mean, you know, things that normally would take, you know, maybe 90 days, 30 days, are taking months, a very long time for approval.
So a great holiday gift for you this year would be an FDA dartboard, perhaps?
Yeah, there you go.
Tell us about the RSA, because I know you've always had great success there. Did you have to do a lot of backpedaling and explaining there, or are things still moving ahead forward?
Well, we didn't have to do it at all. I mean, our peers know and understand that the FDA has been going through some changes, and it's a government bureaucracy. You know, so, you know, if anything, you know, people were empathetic to what we were going through. You know, like I said, most major OEMs that stopped by, you know, were complaining, you know, as well. But it was a great show for us. I mean, we still met with a lot of physicians that had a great deal of interest, you know, in our product and getting it installed all over the world. And it was, even though the attendance was down from past years, we still had a very good show for our presence there at RSNA. We were actually right across from General Electric, a really great place.
Let me ask you a question, and this is a hypothetical question, because of course everyone who watches this program knows that you know, no one here at MoneyTV ever participates in any ownership whatsoever of any stock of any company that's ever been on the show. But if I were one of your shareholders, what would you say to me right now to put my mind at ease?
Now's the best time. You know, I mean, unfortunately we took a dip in stock, but you know, we're at a quality purchase price right now. I mean, if you can afford to, you know, maybe you might want to, you know, reinvest into IMGG, because you know, we are taking some serious steps to get this through. We are going to meet this milestone. You know, the FDA is not something that is out of the picture. It's just been a frustrating event for us, but we've hired some big guns, you know, a very big DC law firm that's going to help us push this through. So, you know, from where we were, you know, say 6 months ago to where we are today, you know, we're a value option, and you've seen our stock perform. You know that there are people that are anxious to see this come into the marketplace. Not only, you know, physicians and people that want to use this product, but, you know, major manufacturers are very interested in our product. So the story's still good. I mean, it's just a bump in the road. It's unfortunate that it occurred the way that it did, but, you know, the value's there. And I think, you know, if you're a shareholder and you want to see a value stock, this is one. You know, we've been, you know, you saw last year we shot up to $1.90.
Right.
You know, there's some serious value in the stock.
Once again, Imaging 3, IMGG is their stock symbol. Dean, appreciate you coming on and giving us the whole story.
Thanks again, Don.
Take care.
You too.